Hey there guys, how's it going? This is rexfurry here, and welcome back to another Game tutorial. And today we're going to be doing is going over some character select screens in Game Maker. And this little system here, I just recently built it for the purpose of this tutorial, and it's very clean, very simple, and very efficient overall. And if you guys have watched any of my other tutorials, you'll know that I love to have all of those various traits in all my tutorials. So let's go ahead and run this really quickly here and see how it all works. Also, my mouth is very dry for some reason, so I apologize if I kind of, have a bit of a weird speech kind of words thing later on. It's basically because of that, and yeah, I guess I could get some water, but we're already too far in, aren't we? So let's just go ahead and hurry up with this little preview, then get on the actual tutorial, so you guys don't have to hear me mispronounce words all the time. So anyway, essentially what we have going on here is we have our player, and this is our character select screen, by the way. I know it doesn't look like much, but we essentially have our player, and it's a little arrow here that if we click it, we can browse through various characters that we can choose to actually play as. I'm going to go the eyeball guy because I think it looks kind of cool. And you'll notice that we can move left and we can also move right. And this tutorial, or excuse me, this example that I built will be available for you guys to download for free in the description as well if you guys want to go ahead and do that. But anyway, he moves somewhat fast, and if we go ahead and exit out of this and rerun it again, choose the other guy, you will notice, boop, that he moves a lot more slower than the last guy. And essentially why that is these are both separate characters that you can assign separate values to and all that kind of cool stuff. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier on, but basically this is just one way on how to do character select screens. There's so many various ways, and I myself have built so many various ways, but I thought this would be a good standing kind of starting point on getting used to character select screens and whatnot. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and start the tutorial. Starting with the sprite, which actually does have meaning this time, unlike a lot of my other tutorials, I just like to show them just because, but this time it actually does have meaning. So I'm not going to go and click the show preview because it kind of gives you like a little seizure. Well, I guess I kind of just did. But anyway, essentially what we have going on here is two characters that you may have noticed just a couple seconds ago. We have character 1, character 2. And the reason why these are all in one sprite is simply just for efficiency. And it kind of pertains to the tutorial as well, so this is the only way this example will work. But once you figure out the whole system, you might be able to go ahead and just go on your own and switch everything for separate sprites if you like. But I thought this would be a nice, efficient, easy way to do it. So basically, if you want to create a new character, these are the characters that will be in the game for selection. If you want to create a new one, just go ahead and I'm just going to copy and paste this. Go in here and you can select all, Control A, and delete. And basically, you just create your new character. So, just do a little... It's really weird, but so that would be a new character. If you want to create more new characters, just gonna do the same thing, copy and paste them, or create new sprites, whatever, and just fill this whole thing up with new characters. So yeah, so that's how that works. So all your characters will be in here. And as for this little SPR underscore next here, this is basically just the arrow that you're going to use to browse through your different characters. Nothing too fancy going on there. You don't really have to do that, of course. If you want your own various way to kind of browse through characters, you can do that. I just put this here because, hey, I think it looks kind of cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and hop into the objects here and see what's all going on. So, do I want to do this first or no? You know what? I'm going to go through this object first, and I know it won't make a whole lot of sense the first time round, but trust me, once I get through some more of the objects here, just keep these things that I'm about to go to in mind, and then it should all make sense. So anyway, in the create object of objhr select here, which is, really quickly, this object right here, just in case you guys were curious, we have global.char underscore s equals 0. And this is setting a variable, global variable, that will help out with keeping track of, when we browse through our characters, what character that we're currently on. And image underscore index equals 0, image speed equals 0 should make a lot of sense, just making sure that stays on this sprite when it first created and it doesn't move, like, give that kind of seizure effect. Alright, and in this step event, we have if global.char underscore s, which also stands for char or character select, by the way, you can rename it if you like, equals 2, then it's going to reset back to 0. So once it's reached 2 times, it's going to go back to its initial number. And basically, you'd want to change this if you had more characters. I only put 2 because there's only 2 characters to choose from. So this guy and this guy. So that would need to be changed later on if you create more. So if there's like 3, you just put 3, and that's all you need to do. Alright, so left released, visible equals false, and room go to underscore next. Of course, that's not really going to make a lot of sense right now. Well, it may to some of you guys, but, for now, it probably won't. Also, if I'm going a bit slow here, guys, I apologize. I just kind of want to not go too fast and speed through this thing because character select screens can get kind of annoying sometimes, just because there's so many different things to keep track of. I tried to make it, as you guys can see from the absence of a lot of code, as simple as I could, but, even still. So anyway, I apologize if I'm being a bit sluggish with this tutorial. Anyway, in here we have left pressed, and this is our arrow, by the way. Image underscore index plus equals 1, global dot char underscore s plus equals 1. And if you'll notice, it's pertaining to our character select object, not the arrow object. So if we click on this arrow object, then image index for here is going to equal 1. So since it's this sprite right now, and we set it to that in the beginning, once we click the arrow, it's going to just switch to the next sprite. And if there's no other sprite after it, which in this case there's not, it's just going to cycle back and keep going between the two when you click the arrow. And as I said earlier, if you create a new guy here, it would just cycle into that guy next. So yeah, that's pretty much how that works. And global.char underscore s plus equals 1 as well. So that's our variable that's going to determine once it lands on a certain character, like it starts out at 0, and then it goes to 1, and then if you had a third character, go to 3. Depending on what it's on, then that will know to change this object to the certain character. So this is kind of the biggest object, I guess, in the game here. And this is our obj char, and it is placed right in this separate room, which will actually be our level room. So after our character select screen, we click on the character. After we're browsing through the characters, we click on the character to take us over to our actual level, and this is where this object is placed. And you can place it anywhere you like. This is basically what whatever character you choose, your player is going to be. Alright, so obj char, how this works is if global.char underscore s equals 0, instance change, obj underscore char underscore 1, and the events in char1 are going to be true, so they're going to be able to, you're going to be able to actually do them. And same thing for here, except for the char variable is 1. So essentially, if you don't get it already, this is basically what it's saying. It's going off of this variable right here. So it starts off at 0. So if we were to just click this guy right here at 0, then over here, this object would change to char1. Alright, and if it was number 2, so if we click the arrow 2 times, and it goes to, or I guess 1 time, and it cycles to the other character, it'd be char2. And I know they both have the same exact sprites, and basically every single character you create is going to have this sprite, because that's the very first sprite on your little list of characters. So whatever's the first one is just going to be a problem. I know it's a bit confusing, just kind of browsing all those characters, but, that's what it is. If you really want to, you could just create separate sprites and then just replace them, so, like that, whatever, but, Alright, and is there anything I'm missing here? Oh, right, so at the very end of all this code as well, I can go ahead and kind of space this. It basically just deletes the char select over here, which just turns invisible once it goes to the next room. The only reason why when you click on it, it goes to the next room is because we obviously we don't want it to carry over into the actual level and be displayed or something right there, so yeah. Alrighty, and I guess over here, once you want to create like multiple characters, like objects of characters, you just go ahead and create them and name whatever the heck you want. As you guys can see, this obj underscore char underscore 1, and create, whatever the heck you do in here doesn't matter. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So feel free to comment, rate, subscribe, whatever the heck you did, and hopefully this tutorial helps you. And as always, this is rexfurry, and I'll see you guys next time. So yeah, see ya.